has been 1 year since I posted one of my all-time favorite projects, Sara Sides, a parody of the original Sara Sides. This project still holds a place in my heart because it was the first time I had worked on a large project for many people to see, and I am so lucky to have been able to share it with all of you. That being said, there were a lot of things you didn't see or may not have noticed when it came to this episode. So, as a 1-year anniversary treat, I will be showing you all some behind-the-scenes / things you may not have noticed in What Defines a Hero. Number 1. This was my first time acting for the internet. Have I done school projects where I needed to act? Yes, but it was very different acting for 20 people in your class versus acting for the entire internet to see forever. It was nerve-wracking to say the least, but I had put so much effort into writing this that I was not about to let my nerves get the best of me. Again, that being said, looking back at it, I was not prepared for what I was getting into. I had never studied film or did film classes in school. This was just something I wanted to do for fun. I didn't have lights, a microphone for the camera. The static was... it was rough. Nothing. Like, oh boy, there were plenty of mistakes made. Leslie, for example, turned completely to the side whenever talking to Sarah. Like why? And the focus on the camera. It was focused on the door in the background. And here, like, where was it even focused? Anyways, my brother and occasional producer, broducer, I guess, Steven, was able to help focus the camera for VA, Julie, and Patty, so that made things easier. Oh, right, the names. As I described in the intro, Sara Sides was inspired by my best friend Sarah, who introduced me to Sandra Sides. Leslie was the name of my elementary school principal, who I thought was the most level-headed and smartest person in the entire school. Patty was not only a simple change from Patton, but also the name of a friend of my grandparents who was always so kind and humble to everyone she met. Julie takes a spin from Roman and is a playoff of Romeo and Juliet. Roman's name most resembled Romeo, and Julie seemed like a good fit to replace Juliet. VA is short for Virginia, who is a friend of mine that always seemed to know how to calm people down when they were freaking out about a test or fighting with friends. I was going to use Virginia throughout the episode, but VA was simpler and, in my opinion, cooler name to use. And finally Janice, which is simply a different spelling of Janice. The hardest part, by far, of the process was finding time to film. I had to film everyone's parts months apart due to lack of time home alone. It went Sarah in September, Leslie in October, Julie in January, VA and Patty in March, and Janice in April. You can probably notice by my hair length differences between the characters, but I guess it helps distinguish them a bit more. Even though she had the shortest screen time, Janice was the hardest to film. I couldn't find time to film Janice in her spot, so I had to make a DIY green screen out of cardstock. It wasn't perfect, but it did enough of a job that I could edit the rest of it. It took around 2 weeks of editing, about 3 hours a day, to edit Janice's part to my satisfaction, but it really was worth it. I am very proud of it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details of Sara Sides.
They're stopping you from attaining your hopes and dreams.
That was actually just ad-libbed by me and Steven. We wanted Julie to be very extravagant and sassy, and the idea just popped into our heads, and it is still a part in the episode that makes me laugh every time.
Pretty good. Your hopes and dreams.
Well, the written definition of good can be a multitude of things. To be desired or approved of, having the qualities required for a particular role, possessing or displaying moral virtue, enjoyable or satisfying, attractive, thorough, and well.
Everything Leslie does in this scene is intentional. Leslie looks at specific characters based on how well Leslie thinks they fit into the definition. Desired or approved of is what VA, or technically Virgil, wants in this series. Acceptance. Possessing or displaying moral virtue is very much in Patty's range, and of course I had to throw in some analogical with Leslie looking at VA for attractive.
Besides, my reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
No, my reflexes are fast. You can't even catch a binder remote.
Nope, we're not gonna talk about that. That's what I've been saying this whole time. You can't define good and bad because nobody is all one or the other.
When VA says this, you can see that her eyes linger on the bad hand, as if she is thinking about how she used to be classified as a villain or bad by the others, and she's trying to prove that she is just like everyone else. Okay, can we take a moment to appreciate the music in this episode? I worked really hard on finding the music for this, and I think this needs to be shared. Almost all of the music in this episode had something to do with superheroes. There were instrumental versions of Waiting for Superman by Daughtry, Superheroes by The Script, Superhero by Hade, It's Been a Long, Long Time by Harry James and Kitty Callan, which many Marvel fans may recall, and Ashes by Celine Dion, which was in Deadpool 2. just to name a few. Also, I've gotta say, adding music is one of my favorite parts of editing. The entire mood of a scene can change by simply changing the song or having perfect timing in the music. There were some musical moments in this episode that I am super proud of, all of which were simply because of the timing of the music.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. You can't define good and bad because nobody is all. He gave the stone to Thanos in order to save his friend. Yeah, but like, why though? I already like him. Well, of course you, but not because he's a villain. All heroes show a different sense of, well, good. Yes, I guess. Abby?
Well, I think I've geeked out about music enough. Moving on.
I hope they remember you.
My favorite scene of all time! Okay, I wanted to add as many Marvel and Sara Sides references into this episode as I could, and an iconic shield throw was no exception. Plus, with VA looking like Bucky, it just made perfect sense. This scene took a little bit of prop work and timing to make it look perfect. Patty had to throw the shield, then Julie had to duck as the shield was thrown by none other than my producer Steven. I didn't have anyone for VA's shield throw, so I had to have my hand out just far enough that you couldn't see the shield already in my hand before getting it into frame like she caught it. The same went for VA's toss to Sara. Sara had to throw the shield towards herself as well as lean back and catch it. Thankfully, good editing goes a long way into making it all seem seamless.
Hurt my neck, what the heck? But they're heroes. They're my heroes.
Some may notice a line running down the scene. That is not a camera malfunction, but instead me trying to hide my dog, which is currently sitting in that corner.
Aren't necessary because everyone shows both sides.
The family dog Max seems to love popping into camera when I'm filming. I had to edit him out at times to make everything seem a little bit more seamless, as was evident when I didn't realize he was in full frame when filming a large portion of Sarah's lines. So I had to take a screenshot of that area when Max was not there, and then edit that in to take Max out of the shot.
What? Aren't you going to get into the Marvel spirit too? Well, I guess. Abby? Aww.
VA looks at Patty last before adding the Avengers A to her outfit. While this was a way to add in some moxiety, it also has a deeper meaning, but I'll get into that in a bit.
You basically become the Hulk. Falsehood! Indeed, I don't remember any bad puns either. Wait a minute. Well, if you don't think I should be Spider-Man, maybe I could be Two-Face. Oh, you all just make me laugh.
The coin flip was a nod to Two-Face's character from the DC universe, who always carried a coin with him. Additionally, this reference to the DC universe helps to further show that Janice is more of an outcast compared to the light sides. There's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying DC stuff, even if my Marvel heart hurts a little bit. It's just that Janice likes different things. In the Sara Sides universe, all of the sides have the same goal, to help and protect Thomas. Janice simply has a different way of going about it. Let's go back to VA choosing the Avengers A. VA is in between that stage of once being considered a dark side and being accepted as a light side. So, in this episode, VA doesn't immediately wear Marvel stuff, and this is because they haven't chosen a side. So, VA wants to embrace more of a light side persona to fit in, and VA chooses to go with what the light sides do and wear Marvel stuff. I didn't realize until looking back that Janice has the face of the cat meme. Like, just look at him. Look at the cat.
I love superheroes! Hello, Patty.
When the real Patty rose back up, Leslie gives a hint of a smile at Patty, showing that she is relieved that Patty's okay. Long live logicality. Well, I think that's all I have for now, other than thank you. This project spurred me on to create many more projects after that I'm also proud of. Even with every mistake I pointed out in this video, I wouldn't change a thing. Every success and mistake in this process has gotten me to where I am today, and I can look back at this and say, without a shadow of a doubt, that I am proud of Sara Sides, and cannot wait to show you what else is in store. Happy anniversary, Sara Sides.
Peace out!